there's been a really exciting development since we got this thing running. If we go in here for a closer look, we can see this freeze plug here, and if we look on the floor, we can see a pool of antifreeze, which is coming from this freeze plug that wasn't leaking before we put the engine in the truck. So that's really super awesome. So yeah, I am going to suffer now for a while and hopefully fix that. There's going to be at least 30% more suffering in this week's episode than there was in last week's. I'm going to pull the drain plug on the block to try to drain the coolant, and by drain I mean spill everywhere. It's actually the first freeze plug I've ever had leak on all the garbage I've had over the years. And of course, it makes sense that it would happen on the only vehicle that I've ever cared about. And it also has to happen when we're in a hurry to get it done. So just can't win sometimes, ever. Antifreeze is my second least favorite automotive fluid, right after brake fluid. And, let me know in the comments what your least favorite automotive fluid is. Just a hateful bastard. Every time. I think this is what's gonna ultimately lead me to being incarcerated in the loony bin. Just antifreeze everywhere, every time. Doesn't matter. It's gonna be everywhere. Can't win. Well, it looks like what happened is there's like a rubber seal here, and that has failed. I was worried that there'd be some more corrosion or something, and then I'd be concerned about the other freeze plugs. But I think we're just going to replace this and hope that the rest are okay. I kind of got it in there. Not easier than doing these ones, I guess, but with the steering box, yeah, not fun. And I hope it doesn't pop out, because we had to do some pretty horrific, we used a little bit of everything here to try and get it jammed in there. Not great, that's for sure. Couple days I just kind of been sorting out a lot of little issues. I've run this thing through a few heat cycles now. It took forever to get all the air out of it, but my rigged together freeze plug hasn't started leaking yet, so that's a bonus. I was having issues with this thing. It had a miss, and it was also running extremely rich, and the only way I could get it to idle was really backing out the mixture screws, again causing it to run super rich. And so something was obviously wrong, and so I started looking for all the usual suspects without looking in the right place. And finally I put a timing light on it, which I should have started to begin with. I never touched the distributor on this, other than basically haven't touched anything on this engine really, other than I cleaned the carburetor and new plugs, wires, and cap and rotor, and that's literally all I did to this. And so it was running decent when I pulled it. So anyways, I finally put a timing light on it, and if those of you who've been following along probably remember that the plugs and everything on this was completely shagged out. I don't think this thing's had a tune-up in probably 40 years. It was bad. So what happened is checked the timing, and the timing marks, like, I couldn't even see them, so I painted the timing mark on the balancer there so that I could see it, and it was, I don't even know, way too far advanced. So I set the timing, and I remember the previous owner told me that he couldn't get this engine. It was, well, even when I was driving it, it did have a stumble, and he told me he had fought with it forever trying to get it to get that stumble out of it. And basically, instead of doing a basic tune-up, he was just screwing around with stuff. The carburetor was all jacked up, and turns out he had also messed with the timing. So it was just way too far advanced. So I set the timing back, and then it started smoothing out, and then I was able to turn the mixture screws in and get it so it's not just spraying raw gas out the tailpipe now, and seems to be a lot happier. I think there's still some more fine tuning. I don't think this engine will ever be 100%. I mean, it's just a crappy old engine with nothing done to it, but it seems to move the truck around pretty good for what it is. So I think we'll just do a little bit more fiddling, but kind of a brain dead moment, not checking the timing. I was looking for vacuum leaks, and it had good vacuum, so I don't know why. But anyways, check your timing. Pretty simple, but also, if somebody's worked on it before, everything they did was wrong. So there's some good advice there. I finally got around to getting my tires balanced, so that's why there's no wheels on it right now. But I think we're gonna have to finally do something about the inside of this. So what needs to happen is I need to get the seat frame out, and then I need to clean all this inside of here up, all the mung, and get some sort of paint on it and some sound deadener so that we can start installing the interior panels in here. And we'll probably rig up some temporary seat cover and some foam, or I don't know what's going on, but we're just gonna start picking away at it. I think the goal is just really get this cab put together, because that's been a long time coming. Well, now we got the truck wired and running and driving. We can kind of delete a few of these gaping holes in the floor that we know we're never going to need. So I'm just going to zip them up here real quick. Whenever I use a hole saw, I always make sure I keep the little pieces that I hole sawed out, because they make excellent plugs for the floor, or random holes, I guess, that have to be filled. Well, I think I got most of the random holes welded up. We're not getting too fancy here, because this is all going to be getting covered with sound deadener. So we're not grinding things down or trying to make it look nice, and this isn't the kind of truck where anybody's ever going to be looking under it. So just glorped them up with the MIG. Like I said, I used the chunks left over from using a hole saw for the bigger holes, and then the smaller holes I just use washers and then weld up the center of the washer after. So pretty simple, and just keep scraping mung now, I guess. time has come for the much dreaded door assembly. Been putting this off forever, but it's time to get serious about it. The reason it's dreaded is because I know how it's going to go. It's going to turn into a huge cluster of events that aren't very much fun. So we got a pile of junk here and some broken stuff. You can see this is the driver's side window regulator, and it's junk. This regulator is off a 1935 Chevy truck that I saved, and I thought they were the same, but they're not quite the same. Similar, but not the same. So the difference is that the length of this arm is longer on the 36, and also the mounting is different. You can see this has threaded things on it, and this is just meant to screw into the wood. This is a 35 Chevy, was basically all wood inside. And so I'm just kind of trying to decide now if I want to change the mounting over and this arm somehow, or if I open up Pandora's box and just take this piece off with the gear and whatever other garbage is inside, and then transfer it over to this. And you can see it's already been brazed and repaired multiple times before, and then broken again. And it looks like it's had some stuff going on here too. So I'll just cry myself to sleep and contemplate over this, and then we'll tackle it and see what we come up with. I am so stupid. Some days I don't even know how I've managed to exist. Got this welded on, everything's happy, but you would think, I would take a look at this a little bit closer and notice that the gears are completely shagged on this, and nope, just weld it together. Yep. Well, problem with that is this is right where this is sitting when the window is all the way up. So that means that every time I hit a bump, it's going to cause the window to fall down. And so, I mean, we could have just used this and lengthened the arm and then changed the mounting position, and we would have been done by now. But nope. I think what I'm going to try to do though is I'm actually going to try to weld up these teeth just to see if I can do anything with it. I mean, we've already wasted enough time, so let's just see if that works. If not, we'll have to take everything. Well, this piece has to come off of here and go back onto here where we originally took it off of, and then we have to transfer these things to here, and then I have to lengthen the arm as well. So I don't know. let's just try doing some Pakistani repair or whatever the hell they're called, where they just like, you know, fix gears and things that don't necessarily need to be fixed. Yeah, just got done, you know, doing a quick rebuild on these teeth here. Only took me 3 days to file all those out, but good as new now. Well, it does seem to work now. For how long or for how good, I do not know. We'll have to put it in with the glass and just hope that it holds together for a bit. It's still pretty janky, but what are you gonna do? I never took any of this apart, so I have no idea how any of it goes together. All I've got is a few buckets of random screws and an empty bare cab and a bunch of parts. Well, I got new seals to replace the seal on the inside of the door panel that rubs up against the window. And this thing is all dried out and stuck in there. So I won't make you watch me scrape that out, but that's just what I'm going to be doing for the next however long, months, days, years. Great news, everyone. I've discovered more broken garbage. So here's the inner handle, and it's supposed to go here, and there's supposed to be a little doodad here that it slides into, and that has gone away. So we have to figure something out for that. I do have this latch from a 1953 Chevy truck. And so I'm going to try to, this is what it's supposed to look like, kind of. So I'm going to try to harvest this off of here and then graft it into the 36. Oh, look, more broken, cobbled together garbage. Seems, you know, sturdy enough, so we're just going to conveniently ignore that until it becomes a problem. Well, we got the doors put back together. Pretty much everything in these doors is broken or worn out junk. I did use the original glass, and it's not great, but it's better than no glass, I guess. And I'm still waiting on my windshield and my back glass to get cut, been over a week now. So I guess it's probably a good thing I didn't get new glass cut, otherwise we'd be in bad shape. But everything kind of works now. It's just such worn out garbage. I don't know how long it's gonna last for, but we'll see. For now, good enough. Yeah, this is your inside handle for the latch, and this is your door lock. It is, of course, broken off, but I was able to kind of rig it on so it does work. Again, I don't know for how long, but good enough for now. Same deal on the passenger side. Everything's just rigged together, garbage. I'm not sure, something's not quite right here. I'm not sure if the inside tab needs to be bent a little bit or something else is, I don't know. It's all garbage. And same thing here. This is, I don't know if something's broken or missing, but missing on the other side. So I might just take this off because it's just going to be an annoying rattle. And again, everything's worn out junk, but it is currently working. So we're going to call that a victory for now. This side doesn't have an inside lock because your lock is right here. Had a few other people with 36 Chevy trucks asking over the years what I did about the wood in the cab. For those of you who don't know, on the 36 trucks, these door posts on the cab were originally made out of wood, and of course the wood rots out after 90 years. So this has steel in the cab now, and not even what I did, my dad started this project probably 30 years ago, and he used a piece of 2x2 square tubing to make the posts, and he did that side and got it welded in and the door fitted, and then I ended up with the truck, and so I kind of just copied what he did on this side. So it's just a piece of 2x2, and then it's pie cut at the pillar where it angles, and then welded, and then where it ties into the original cab here, there's a sleeve in behind, and then it's plug welded and welded to the original cab. At the bottom here, the 2x2, it's just I think it stays as a 2x2 down to about here, and then it's just cut off on the outside edge to match the outer curve of the sheet metal. And then the original sheet metal is just tacked onto it. It was originally nailed to the wood, so I just tack welded it every, I don't know, half an inch or whatever. And all that went okay. The problem is I got this side in, and then I discovered that the dash will not fit because the original wood, it's not 2x2, it's 2x2 up here, and then it comes down and it starts to narrow, and you can see it kind of takes on kind of a weird curvy shape on the inside edge. So not only would the dash not fit, but the original sheet metal covers that go over top would not fit either. So, and of course, any seal that I choose to put on the door also will no longer fit because anyways, so I got that, and then I ended up having to take a slice basically from here all the way down and cut this inside edge off, shape it to the right profile, and then fully re-weld it both sides. And it was just a huge hassle. So the reason I haven't gotten into this before is because this is not the way that I would do this again. If I was going to do this again, because of the amount of welding and messing around involved, I would just get a bunch of flat plate, and then I would just carve each piece of plate to the right profile, and then weld those pieces of plate together to make the box structure here. Because at the end of the day, starting with the 2x2, by the time I got done slicing and dicing it, there really wasn't anything left of the 2x2. and I had to basically re-weld everything on it. So yeah, it was a big hassle. Or the way that I would actually prefer to do it again is I would just go out and find a 1938 or 1937 Chevy truck cab, because those cabs were all steel. And what you can do is you can actually take the posts and the dash rail out of them, and you can just graft it into the 36 cab, and then you get factory steel pillars without any of the hassle of trying to build everything from scratch and make everything work. So that is actually the way I would definitely recommend doing it, is going that route. It would just save you so much time and aggravation. And the reason you can't just use a 37 or 38 cab, like the whole cab, is because the 36 cab, the windshield is actually lower. So it has more of a chopped windshield in 36. So this cab is 1 year only. So you can't just use a 37 cab or 38 cab, because then it won't look right. Also, the body line at the bottom of the cowl on 37 and 38, it's a different shape. Also on the bottom here, this kind of gets forgotten about a lot of times because it just disappears. But there is actually wood running all up under here as well. So what I did there is I just welded a piece of, I think, 1x2 kind of under here, and I tied it into the firewall and to this post and to the floor here. And then I just took a piece of sheet metal and bridged off of that down to here and then over. This is what it looks like from the bottom. So sorry for the dark picture or whatever, hard to see under here. But yeah, you can see this is the 2x1 under here, and you can see yeah, I just welded it to the original floor, tied it into the firewall here, and then tied it into the post back here, and then I just broke a piece of sheet metal into a 90, plug welded it to the bottom, and then tipped the bottom edge over, and this is the bottom of the cowl here, and then I just spot welded it to the bottom of the cowl and then seam sealed everything up, and so it ties all this structure together. Otherwise this just stays loose and it wobbles around, and there's not enough support for the doorpost. Seeing as how I'm still waiting for my glass, I'm going to go ahead and get all the sound deadener installed in the cab here. I did paint it all inside here kind of half-heartedly the other day, so it's kind of ready to go, or as good as it's going to be for what I'm doing. Friday evening and I still don't have my glass, so that's a bit unfortunate, but it's not like we don't have other things to do. So I started installing the sound deadener in the cab and I ran out. Brilliant. But I have enough in now where I can actually start installing all of the interior panels. I don't have a headliner yet anyways, so we can do the roof later. But yeah, we'll start tossing some of this junk back into this junk. Oh, I got some more sound deadener, so we got that put in the roof now. I also got new windlace put in on the cab here and on the front of the doors. These are kind of weird. It took some research to figure out how this all went, but the windlace, near as I can tell from my research, it only goes to about here, and then it's on the door the rest of the way down to here. I know some people were concerned about air and water getting into this truck, and these things were not air or watertight ever. There's just massive gaping caverns everywhere, so it's more of like a polite suggestion to keep the air and water out. It's better than a Roadster, but I mean, without a whole pile of work and cutting and welding, it's just going to be what it's going to be. But surprisingly, the doors actually, seal up better than I thought they would. They close nice and tight. Feels pretty solid now, and they're not rattling, so that's cool. Worked out better than I was expecting, actually. And again, back to the wood replacement. I'm really glad I decided to do the extra work and pie cut those steel pillars, or not pie cut, but slice and dice them to match the original contours, because the way that the windlace fits into the door here, I never would have been able to get that installed had I left it as a 2x2. It absolutely does have to conform to that if you want any chance of having any kind of a seal in the door at the front. Of course, my glass still isn't done, so that's about all I can get done in this episode. And honestly, getting the interior put together as much as we could, with the doors put together, with the windows going up and down, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that was a great deal of work, and something we've kind of been putting off for a while. So glad to get that out of the way. Next episode, hopefully we'll be getting the glass installed, and then we got to get the hood on, the front fenders on. We got to do some sketchy used car lot bodywork stuff to the bed and the rear fenders, and get some kind of coating on them, and then hopefully put some miles on it. We do still also have to get some wood in the box floor here. Again, that's kind of not a priority right now. Right now the priority is just get it on the road, put some miles on it, see what it does, and then go from there. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.